Come in. Oh,
Hello, Joseph, is it?
hi, Dr. Zapata. Yes, Joe. How are you?
I'm well. What seems to be the problem, Joe?
Well, I'm having trouble, difficulty drawing from imagination.
Oh, Joseph, just so you know, that's totally normal. Why don't you tell me a little more about your problem? Is it that you can only draw from imagination if you're completely alone?
Doc, I can't ever draw from imagination.
What about if you're completely relaxed?
When I'm totally relaxed, I can't imagine a thing.
I see. Joseph, it's important to know that even with severe cases like this, there's always hope. I can prescribe an experimental therapy called Form from Imagination.
Form from imagination?
It's early days, but clinical trials are extremely promising. Why don't you try this for 6 months and then check back in with me?
Okay, I'll do whatever it takes. Did you just draw this?
Oh yeah.
Wow, it's amazing. Hey, Doc, do you ever have trouble drawing from imagination?
Oh no.
You wouldn't. I mean, you do this.
That's right.
Wow.
Form from Imagination is an experimental therapy and is not yet approved for use by the FDA. Do not use Form from Imagination if you are already taking any prescriptions for drawing from reference, working side size, or tracing photos you didn't even take. Stop taking Form from Imagination if you experience any of these side effects: loss of interest in your personal projects, megalomaniacal self-confidence, hallucinations, unless they're the kind you're hoping for, drawing better than Steven Zapata, or feelings that purchasing the course was enough and you don't really need to do the exercises. Call your doctor if you have stiff gestures, flat forms, or boring ideas to address a possible life-threatening condition. Full sketchbooks have been reported with Form from Imagination and medicines like it. Other risks include long-term art careers, too many clients, and being worth more than you're charging for. Call your doctor today and ask about Form from Imagination. Hello everyone, my name is Steven Zapata. I'm a concept artist, illustrator, online art teacher, and former instructor at Art Center College of Design. I would like to introduce you to my new drawing course, Form from Imagination, a course designed to help you draw with confidence from your mind. Maybe you want to be a professional illustrator or designer, maybe you want to be a master with a pencil, or maybe you just want to be the best artist that you can be. Beautiful goals. But it's not always clear how to improve the work that you do from imagination. Over the past 6 months, I've taken all of the little eurekas, tips, and essential exercises that gave me confidence drawing from my mind and compiled them into a sequential course. We start with the absolute foundations, covering the scientific nature of light and shadow, how to hatch, how to create flat tones, how to render spheres and cubes, and step by step, we move through combined shapes, complex shapes, organic shapes. We cover how to simplify extremely complex subjects like the head into basic shapes so that you can handle them more easily from your head. We look at how to understand and treat details. And by the end of these 14 chapters with over 50 video lessons, you'll be ready to do complex designs from your mind with fidelity and energy. And all the demos are done in pencil on paper, so you can do all of the assignments even if you don't have a fancy digital art setup. But I also have demos, instructions, and modifications to the assignments for those who do want to do them digitally. Here's how it works. Go to formfromimagination.com and sign up for the course. Download the assignment book and start watching the lectures. Do the assignments at your own pace. Take your time with them and use this self-study to develop your patience. When you're done, post your assignments in the exclusive community hub, and I'll personally critique your work with drawovers, diagrams, and advice. I want you to know, this course is no joke just because it's online. It is challenging content, and it is more complete than it would be if I was teaching this class at an art college as I have before. If I was teaching this class in person at Art Center today, I would just play these videos in class, knowing full well that they're the most concise, focused, edited, step by step.
I'm ready. I cut it off. I didn't want to wait. Hello, everybody. Aki says, stream on my birthday, but I have to go outside and be social with friends. Happy birthday, Aki. Happy birthday.
I'm going to refrain from just singing the happy birthday song. You guys know the happy birthday song, right? It goes, happy birthday to you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. You're too kind. Happy birthday to you. Thank you. Thank you. Happy birthday, Aggie. Have a great day. Enjoy your time with your friends. Who's your vocal coach? The best, most famous one, obviously. That's it. What are we drawing today? Sketching madly. And I'm sketching variations on an idea that I had put down and I'm coming back to. How's everybody doing? What are y'all sketching? Y'all are drawing, right? No, y'all are drawing. I want to get in a morning sketch sesh. I don't think this will be a very long one. I got a bunch to do, and also my allergies are killing me today. I'm fully medicated, and usually my allergies don't kick in until the morning, but I'm already feeling it first thing in the morning. It's very windy here in New York. We just had a very hot day. Seems the trees always give it off when the weather changes. Perfect storm. I was walking my dog late at night last night. Usually they're easier on me in the evening. Whole time I was walking the dog, I was sneezing the whole time. And then Pichu says, I've never seen this program. What is it? This is Leonardo. Not to be confused with the intelligent American turtle who knows Asian martial arts. Stephen Hawes says, hey, Stephen, I live in upstate New York. Do you ever do meetups or sketch groups? It would be fun to draw together. I have not in a very long time. I've done like 2 ever. I did one years ago when Ahmed was in town. And I did one years ago with Modern Day James and Anthony Jones. I would like to do more of them, but It's just a time constraint thing. I'm sure I will do another one before I pass from this earthly plane, but I can't tell you when. Hi, Joey. Ugh. Sylvester Lazarus, hello. Just wondered what you've been up to a few days ago. I've been gone. Basically, since January, I've just been in the 11th work dimension, working on the design course. I had told myself that I would find a way as I was doing this course to not disappear from the internet, but that was wishful thinking. I mean, production hell is production hell, and you get in there on any project basically. So a lot of writing scripts, recording, reviewing footage, things like that. Doing demos. And that's the thing, so much of it was like stream adjacent stuff, you know, it was like me being on camera, talking a lot, like throwing streams in there where I'm doing more talking. I was like, I'm gonna lose my voice doing all this. Goodbye, Mitchell. Do you sing in the course at the beginning of every single video? At the beginning of every single video, I just go what that beat about but diggity do that day. You know, I just scat for like 20, 30 minutes at the beginning of each video. I knew if I didn't do that, no one would want to watch it. So I think I need to open a window. I feel very stuffy. Wait, but this is probably going to make my allergies worse, isn't it? This is probably going to make my allergies worse, but I feel it's like in this closed room with the fan, I just feel like super squished. My brain feels squished. I need some fresh air. I'm working on my portfolio right now. Do you have any tips on how to not over design? You know, a design is done when it fulfills the design criteria. You can't name the design criteria, probably a big problem there, you know? So basically, as soon as you've hit that design criteria, you stop. The criteria include the mood that you're going for, which is always emotional, right? That's the number one most important thing. You achieve the mood by unifying all of the elements of art and the principles of design towards one end, giving you the final principle of design, unity. You achieve the mood and you maintain the theme. You need to know what the theme of your project are. Some projects have themes that are composed of a few sub-themes or something like that. A theme is something like Greek mythology or Gothic or, well, dark fantasy is overused these days and is kind of like not specific enough. You know, it's hard to say what that really is as a theme, but something like that. So if you hit the mood, maintain the theme for the whole project and for any individual element, you stop right there. Your hands off. Dunzo. Jerry says that actually helped a lot. Great. If you ever want to learn more, I talk about that stuff in incredible detail in my upcoming design course. I cover all of the elements of art seen through the lens of design, of course. The elements of art sort of apply to everything, even when you're not technically designing, but the design course has a complete introduction to all of the elements of art through their possibilities for design, right? So sort of teaching design right up front with the elements of art, and then a complete and thorough introduction to the principles of design as well. Any recent revelations, Stephen? Revelations can be anything. Okay, so not necessarily art related. Yeah, a lot. Well, maybe less revelations, more grappling with questions or notions that maybe were revealed before, but kind of revisiting them and really being like taking them more seriously, trying to understand them on a deeper level. Stuff that can be pretty hard to accept. I've been grappling with a lot of those, but if I had to name one that I've been turning around in my head a lot lately, and the people on the Patreon will know this because there's a like 40-minute audio file of me discussing it sitting on the Patreon right now. But do we need to think our thoughts? I've been thinking about it a lot lately. Grappling with that, contending with that. Obviously, it's only interesting because I'm currently at a no. And I'm just having, really grappling a lot with like, oh my God, is that really true? It's a very vexing notion. Why do I have a colored pencil called Caput Mortem, Deadhead? That's awesome. It's a meme to say, but sounds like the name of a metal band. Oh man, my allergies are really bad. We are Caput Mortem! Kyokusei says, hi Stephen, happy to see you live right as I get into work. Happy to be here. Good luck at work. Leela says, will your design course be independent of form from imagination or depend on principles from that? No, it'll be independent. It'll be its own thing. I think you could take either or first, however you want. Form from imagination is really focused just on form because that's a very deep subject, and that's not everybody's cup of tea, actually. Not everybody's obsessing that much over form. If you were like a real like total beginner, like you just started drawing a few months ago, I think there, if I had to pick one, I'd say probably form from imagination would be the better start, just because it deals with a lot more just like mechanical handling of your hand and things like that. And beginners tend to be interested in that, and they can benefit from that early on. Though really, as I always say, if you're really a true beginner, I think you should just be spending time in your sketchbook. I don't think you should be taking any courses if you're really, really early on. You should just be building a joyful connection. Sorry, guys. This is a horrible allergy season. My throat is closing up. And yes, I have taken my medication. I'm fully medicated right now, and it's still it's breaking through. Yeah, I think the number one priority for a beginner is to be building up a joyful, loving connection with drawing, not fulfilling course criteria or anything like that. Zhang says, I was going to take a day off. I made a mistake of watching you draw for 5 minutes, opening Photoshop. Love you, hate you. Love you, hate you too. How's it going in the AI war? Oh my God, it's crazy. It's crazy, isn't it? I won't get too much into it here, but like the House is trying to pass a budget bill that is like eliminating the ability for, this is all US specific, right? But like eliminating the ability for US states to do any AI regulation on their own. It's like, what? For 10 years, for a whole decade. Okay. Rest well, Burnt. You said you have 10 plus years of experience, but how many years exactly? If you just mean drawing, I've been drawing obsessively since I was 5. So that means I have 30 years of experience. If you're talking about work, I did my first commercial work when I was 21, I think. So that would be 14 years of doing art for my living. Do you think I can make it at 17? I use YouTube to learn. Am I doomed or should I just believe? Let me read you something from a script that I have in progress. I haven't recorded this yet, but I'll give you guys a preview. I like to do this on stream every now and then. Okay, this is for people like Paper Moon who are pretty young and using YouTube to learn. Let me just skim this real quick. I'm just going to read the most relevant excerpt of this early draft of the script. All right, let me read a couple paragraphs here. Excuse me if I have to clear my throat a lot. I often get emails and messages from beginners, real beginners, like people who just started drawing a month or 2 ago. And sometimes they're asking me if they should take something like my course or my workshop, and I usually tell them, hell no, you should practice drawing happily first. This is very important and isn't something me or my peers here on YouTube tend to talk about much because we can't help with it directly. If so far in your life you haven't had a period of, maybe several months to several years where you just draw for the joy of it without engaging with the systems and advice of others, I would prioritize that. Let me jump a couple paragraphs. A lot of teachers don't recognize the need for such a period because they assume that everyone already has something like this in their background, usually in their childhood. And they don't realize that this happy, structureless time with drawing is actually being skipped and is vanishing in our culture. And, I hate to say it, but it's people like me and my friends who are to blame. If you're around my age, 34, hold on to your hats. You might be shocked to hear this. In the current era, there are young people who, the day they discover that they like drawing for the first time, go to YouTube and search how to draw and get 1032 Proco videos. Let that sink in. Just a few joyful minutes between realizing you like drawing and realizing that you're doing it suboptimally. What kind of impact do you think that might have on someone's connection with the inherent joy of their practice? I started drawing joyfully and constantly when I was 5 years old, and I didn't realize that there were traditional methods or any method at all for improving at drawing. Things as foundational as learning anatomy, let's say. I didn't find out about those until I was about 14. That's 9 years pre-YouTube, pre-social media, where drawing and I just got to be best friends and cement our relationship. In those years, I didn't even wonder what else was out there. It never even occurred to me to wonder what other artists were up to or what other rates of improvement were possible. I just drew and tried to figure things out myself. Does it sound like maybe that was important? Sound like maybe that was important? It was. It shaped my identity. And all of my artistic problem solving today is still built on that foundation. If you've never had a period like this, if you haven't had a long period of just enjoying the mushy, joyful contact with drawing, you should gift one to yourself. It will help you survive your more structured practice later on because you'll have a touchstone of pure joy, which you should never give up on. I'll leave it there for now. Maybe that's too meta of an answer to your question, but I think it's sort of the big problem facing young artists today. Yeah, see, Arctic Monkey says, I had maybe a month, and then at 14, I started watching Proco, etc. So yeah, it do be like that. I can't tell you how fortunate I feel that I was born at a time where I never even had to entertain such a thing, you know? Culture made it easy for me to have a beautiful, unstructured time of just drawing. So we're to have generations of unhappy artists from now on? We've already had generations of unhappy artists. It's just going to get worse. Unless artists get wise. if they start practicing wisdom and not just drawing, or they need to start practicing wisdom as well as drawing. Culture has never made being an artist easy. Trying to be an artist has always been a mountain of madness. But it's only going to get worse, since our culture is moving farther and farther away from understanding art, incentivizing art, caring about art. Music for Work says that's so real, even in videos where I want to draw, where I want to draw something like anime manga, even they redirect me to optimal fundamentals. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the fundamentals, but the implication that you are working in a suboptimal fashion, I do think is pernicious. It's like we can absolutely improve our processes, and it's not like we don't benefit from the great knowledge of the past and all that, but there is no optimizing art. I think that we always need to discuss those improvements within context, and a lot of artists and teachers don't. A lot of artists and teachers just assume that everybody's having fun like them, so they focus on the optimization stuff when they talk. Maybe they just have been out of touch. They haven't been communicating directly with students enough. But once you do actually talk to people about their art journey, you find out, oh no, lots of people don't know they're supposed to be having fun while they work. They've spent the past decade miserable, and they're pushing things on further on down the line. They're like, I'll be happy later. You're not going to be happy. If you can't be happy now, you're not going to be happy when I don't even know what you guys want to do anymore. No one really wants to be a commercial artist anymore, so it's not that. If you can't be happy now, you're not going to be happy when you hit 100,000 Instagram followers or whatever. Instagram, how old am I? You're not going to be happy when you hit 8 million TikTok followers or anything like that. It will turn to ashes in your mouth. Trust me, I know. I'm friends with lots of people with dream careers, and they're miserable. They spend all of their time shaking their heads and wondering, how did I fuck this up so bad, even though they're living everybody's dream. You actually need to practice enjoying it. It's more fun when you're good at it, though. No, no. It's more fun when you're good at it if you're still connected with the fun. There's lots of people who are amazing at art and they hate every second of it. If the foundation is right, yes, your virtuosity can be a source of joy, but it's not a guaranteed connection. There's lots of people who are quite amazing at drawing, and every moment of doing it is suffering. You think Flickr is a good website for photo reference? I haven't been there in a long time. Joe says, I never have fun making art. It's the coal mining of the heart for me. Also, I never do it and it gives me panic attacks. There is a lot of people who literally, yeah, that's how they get through their practice. Was there ever a critical turning point that made making art fun for you, Stephen? No, I consider that to be the one talent that I was blessed with, which was that from the very beginning, art was fun. And I was also never confused at any point in my journey that it was supposed to remain joyful, which a lot of people forget about. And that's just pure luck, as far as I can tell. I never got confused. All of the different sectors that I went into, going to school, making portfolios, trying to be a commercial artist, a lot of people lose their way in those steps. And that's not to say that I didn't have dark times. I had very dark times, but I was never confused. Even if I was off the path, I knew it. I wasn't confused. I didn't think I was on the path and then turned out I wasn't. I always knew you're not supposed to lose the joy, and any loss of joy at any part of the journey is a failure of critical thinking and focusing on what actually needs to happen here. So I consider that very lucky. You know, that's, if I had any talent, that's what I had. Because I certainly didn't have technical talent. I had very little talent out of the gate, and I'm a slow learner. So the one blessing that I had was that I always found it fun, and I knew it was supposed to be fun. Leela says, need to just vent this to a group of people I feel will understand. I had a close family member say, we all know Leela's strength is in arts and crafts, and it's really gotten in my head when I draw. That sucks. That sucks. That does happen. But that's just, they were just saying something thoughtless. You know, as much as you can, just forget about it. They don't know what they're talking about. They do not know what they're talking about. Happens all the time. Probably half the people in this chat are grappling with some careless word from a family member that has been affecting their art journey for years and years. It's something that so many artists have to deal with. But in the end, the number one way to deal with it is to just forget about it. Stop caring. They don't know anything about art, those people. And they don't understand why you're doing it. It always seems to be like an uncle who's a mechanic who has never thought about art or been to an art museum who is saying these things to people. It's like, is his opinion relevant because he's your uncle? Absolutely not. Guys, I hate to tell you this. I really hate to tell you this. Guys, I hate to tell you this. But your uncle's an idiot. I say this as an uncle myself. Take it from an uncle. We're idiots. Seriously, take it from someone like me. Someone who has been doing art for 30 years, professional, think about art all day, every day, basically, for decades. All of that thinking, really thinking, doing a lot of writing, meeting a lot of people, just deep, deep connection with art. Would I ever see anybody earnestly trying to make artwork and say, oh, it's not really their strength or something like that? No. All I have to say to anybody making art is, oh, you're communing with God. That's nice. Nice prayer. Good job. Akabatan says, hi, Stephen. What to do if you have few hours left for a project you haven't started that should have been done for days? I don't know. Heavy introspection on my time management skills. Possibly begging for mercy. Only God can save you now. The Duck says, I'm still excited for the new course. That's great. Where can I find or invent exercises for mirroring tilted, rotated planes? Doing How to Draw by Scott Robertson and having a blast, but got somewhat stuck. Thanks. Where can I find or invent exercises for mirroring tilted, rotated planes? I mean, just invent them. I don't know what you mean by find exercises for it. I'm not a big fan of the very technical parts of of how to draw. So, I don't know. Just to be perfectly honest with you, my first reaction to that is if you've mirrored one tilted, rotated plane, you're probably done. Time to do your dream pictures, buddy. I really don't think you need to do more than a couple of those. That's not how people draw. That's not how Scott draws. That's not how Scott draws anymore. How does Scott draw? Apparently he feeds sketches into Viscom AI and gets new sheets of sketches. Okay. Okay. So glad I have no exam. Caught the stream. Lucky ducky. No test for you, eh? Goodbye, Leela. Mackie says, I tried to make an art career happen, but I wasn't very skilled, so it didn't work out. Now I'm just kind of burnt out and trying to enjoy art again, but it has been difficult to due to the baggage of life. I get it. I get that. Life is hard. Life is hard. Don't be hard on yourself. That's not useful in art. Just focus on getting that fun back, like you said. You do that, and you never really know what will happen. Hold on a second. Hey, Steven, do you have any favorite sketching techniques? Just doing this little movement with my fingers. 1,000 times a day. Some people do 100 push-ups. Some people run 6 miles. If I do this 1,000 times in a day, I feel fine. Steven, how do I keep having fun when deadlines? I mean, once deadlines are involved, you can't really prioritize fun anymore. Just get it done. It can be fun, but you have to hit Zen Master level. So it's quite a long road between here and there. Like, there is a way for it to be fun, even when the deadline is crushing and all that, and that is to realize that there is no other option to how the world is unfolding. It is what it is. True gut level acceptance of this will allow you to just feel fine, no matter what. And then if you can feel fine, even in miserable circumstances, then you realize, well, if I can feel fine in miserable circumstances, I might as well feel amazing. And then be good. Shunyata, Buddhist emptiness, form is void, void is form. Volitional formations are just another appearance in the mind, baby. There's no free will, etc., etc. Stephen, what is this piece for? I'm trying to plan the next piece in a series, so it would be after this one that I have in the corner here. It would follow up this one. I don't know if I'd do it pencil again. This one's pencil. But I'm just trying to plan it. I could always finish it in pencil once I have the plan. The plan. But I got a lot of sketches to do before we get there. This is one I was poking at the other night. Woo, these allergies. Gob says this sounds like something I could apply even outside of art. I heard from Art Dad that Leonardo is still in development by the guy who made it. So that's exciting. I have to admit, though, as soon as I heard that, I was like, I hope he doesn't make it too much better. Like, when I was sketching this the other night, I really liked that there was only 8 brushes to choose from, just like super limited, right? Like, all I need is like, don't give me more options. Close me to a certain extent. Like, I like just 8 brushes that work nicely, that are nice brushes, but there's nothing, and you can't add any. There's nothing. It's like, these are the only 8 brushes you'll ever have. I kind of like that. Lassie says, have you been trying heavy paint? I've tried heavy paint once or twice in the past, but it didn't stick for me. It's too, I'm a real itchy, hatchy kind of a guy, and heavy paint is really focused on painting, like shapes, big shapes of value and color, and that's just not how I like to think at the beginning of something. How much is this program, Leonardo? I don't remember. I paid for the beta because I liked it so much and I wanted to support. I think it has like a 30-day free trial or something. I forget how much I paid, maybe $40 to keep it. I'm here for the dancing. I thought this was a dance stream. I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about. I assume is your channel profile pic a self-portrait? No. Oh wait, yes it is actually. Sorry, I was thinking my Instagram profile pic. My YouTube profile pic is a self-portrait, yeah. There's many self-portraits in the painting that comes from, actually. Sorry for a lot of clanking sounds. I'm moving my microphone. Testing, all right. Looks like your screen lays quite flat. Do you get back neck pains? Of course. That's just, you know, occupational hazard of being an artist. Fortunately, they've never gotten that bad for me. For a lot of people, they get quite bad. Honestly, I get more neck pain from not being disciplined about my sleep position. I get more neck pain from that than I do from drawing. It's like, even if I'm pretty hunched while I'm drawing, at least every few minutes I'll get up and I'll, oh God, yeah, you know, stretch it out. But it's like when I'm sleeping, I'll just, if I wind up on my side, just pressure on that shoulder all night, and I wake up with, that whole shoulder joint just killing me, and it'll hurt all day. Gordy, how are you, man? What program are you using? This is Leonardo. I hope you're well, man. I was using this program for some, I discovered it while I was working on my design course, and I wound up using it for some sketch sessions for the design course, and I fell in love. You know, I'm always trying to, like, unlike a lot of artists, I'm always trying to, like, simplify my tools, and I don't know, because I'm really drawing focused, I want less options a lot of the time. I want everything to just feel more like there's a pencil in my hand, which is very limited. And Leonardo is like this simple program that's still in beta. It only has like 8 brushes, but the brush engine is really nice. And, you know, there's some customization, but not a ton. And you mix that with the fact that it has a feature that I've always wanted a nice drawing program to have, which is infinite fucking canvas. It's great. I love it. I can just keep going to the right, to the right, to the right, to the right, and add as many sketches as I want, which, if you're a designer, you know that that's great for an iteration session. You could just do hundreds of sketches on one page. And I like whenever I'm designing something, I love seeing all of the iterations that I've done all at once. So it's really nice for that. Goodbye, Arctic Monkey. Or he says, I'm good, just trying to survive. I get that. How the world is right now, I can only hope you being in the USA right now, you are safe. I am. That's very sweet of you to say. Thank you, Gordy. Need to get you back on the pod? Yeah, that would be fun. I'm close. I'm close to my schedule becoming a little more relaxed again. Yeah, close. Once my new course comes out, that's a milestone. That should be in a few weeks. When will you do another 7-hour video with such a nice vibe drawing alongside you? I feel like these streams replace that. I mean, there's a lot of streams that are like 4 hours long, 3 hours long. You just stick a couple back to back. Oh, god dang it. Hold on. Let me change my window situation. There's a... See the gardeners across the street right outside my studio window, so the leaf blowers are about to start, and that's gonna drive me crazy, so give me a minute here. I'm gonna shift things. I'm also gonna go to the restroom. I'll be right back. All right. I don't think you guys can hear it, but I got gardening going on right outside my window. Apologies if audio sounds a little distorted while noise cancellation does its job. For all of my meditative practice, I'm still destabilized by leaf blowers. Sometimes they come on while I'm meditating and I can hear them out the window, and I sit there I try to imagine the gardener and I try to wish them well. I'm just like, may you be happy. May you be free from suffering. But it is like, there's like way crazier shit going on in my life that I have a way easier time reaching equanimity on. Those leaf blowers drive me nuts. Gordy says, I'm thinking of doing a weekly pod when I ramp back up. That's me just kind of word vomiting, but that's script on your doing drawing wrong. I'd love to dive more into that. I've seen it so much in things like ArtWad, where they are now using thumbnails like your drawings suck, here's 3 reasons, etc., and it annoys me so much. Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent, you can't really blame people for going with the meta, right? It is frustrating if that kind of thing just drives you crazy. It drives me crazy, but you know, it's YouTube that's doing it, you know, and the nature of the current culture. I mean, because especially in art, it's like if you don't do something clickbaity, it's like for the most part, people aren't going to watch it, you know. Art as a niche has some of the lowest, has like one of the most vicious view count to subscriber ratios, you know. You can have millions of subscribers on an art channel, and you'll still regularly post a video that by view count in any other sector, in any other industry on YouTube, it would be considered a total flop failure, like delete it, repost it some other time kind of a thing. Like people do not watch, you know, so. Yeah, I mean, I find that stuff annoying too, but it's not anybody's fault. Like if you're running a business on it, yeah, you're gonna have to do some of that. It's like imagine if we all named what these videos and streams really are, right? Like imagine if we named every video another drawing that looks like one of mine and advice you've heard before. Would anybody ever watch another art video again? Like, we're in a really, really difficult situation with art in terms of being content creators. We're just not made for YouTube, you know, we're not. We are not made for YouTube. More annoying is when AI things get more likes and views than an artist's work. Yeah. I mean, don't remind me. I mean, the numbers that Italian brain rot is doing. Not even making Italian brain rots, just reposting Italian brain rots or making slight AI variations on Italian brain rots. It's like, you'd better be drawn for the love of it. You'd better be drawn for the love of it. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Drawing is just not culturally relevant. You can't be doing it for that. We must draw for spiritual reasons. I can't with them anymore. Someone said that we have to adapt to AI. That killed me. People have been saying that from the beginning. People have been saying that right off the bat. That's not some original or interesting thought. I got no sympathy left for these people. Like, you're being tricked. You are being tricked. You're not going to get any of the things that you want out of it. But unfortunately, the time for reason and discourse has come and gone. Everybody did it for a while. Everyone has picked their positions. And now it's a contest of wills. That's all. Like everything in life. Two of my best in real life friends have adopted AI for their day jobs, and so far it's been difficult for me to navigate that. Yeah. There's a lot of that happening. I mean, I don't know, it doesn't mean you have to fight with them about it, but I don't know, I've been lucky. Since I came out as basically a religious zealot right out the gate, no one's confused about me or expects me to be anything other than what I am. Don't give an inch, that's what I say. They're coming for everything. Everything. They are coming for everything. They'll take everything from you. They want all your time, every second. They want to control the intuitions of your mind, and now they're even coming for the creative impulse. Even trying to tie the creative impulse to them. But nobody cares. Nobody cares. Unfortunately, even a lot of my peers, they don't care. A lot of my peers are not actually mushy-gushy bohemian artists who are doing it for spiritual reasons. They just want to have a cartoon. Okay, guys. Go on now. Artists of this era, I swear to God. There's nothing they won't sacrifice for the dream of a whisper of an opportunity to have a cartoon. To have their fucking cartoon made. They'll throw everybody else under the bus, sacrifice everything for a cartoon. For a cartoon. We are in a benighted age, truly. I mean, goddamn, the best drafts people alive right now are spending their lives, dude, what? The best drafts people alive are like They're spending their time making costumes for anime girls and gacha games. Like, what did we do, man? We could have built anything. Whatever. I'm the only real artist left. Okay. I'm all alone. Sure. All right. That's just my curse. My fate in the world. The art demon summoned me. It said, oh shit, we hit 0. We hit 0 actual real artists. I better make one real quick. And it summoned me out of the dirt. All right. I'll do what I have to do. Put on some music, Stephen, please. I am going to refrain from that just because I have to get going soon. I don't actually have that much time today. If I put on music now, I'll start getting hypnotized. I'll go over time. I think outside the art industry, AI is actually a net positive. I mean, yeah, for like medicine and stuff like that, but where is it, guys? Do you need to scrape the whole internet to figure out how to solve cancer? I don't know about that. They're sure spending a lot of their time talking about how to replace creative work. And I rarely hear anything about medical AI advancement. Oh, but I'm sure there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, right? And don't talk to me about the radiology detection tech, because that was around long before like ChatGPT, when things hit mainstream back in 2022. Indeed, that stuff is all good. Where is the new stuff? Where is all the stuff they're promising? Do I want to start drawing this horse right now, or am I going to get... Probably going to get sucked in here. Save that to pick up the next session. He's got to be way bigger, too. Humps. And I got to stop mentioning AI on here. You mention it once, it completely, like a wave, just takes over the chat. You're all in good company here, don't worry. We all hate it. I hate it. In terms of art, I don't think anything good's gonna come of it. It is gonna fuck up your brain. Of course it is. Of course it is. But you're not gonna listen to me. Or anybody else. Anybody who's interested in using it. Probably gonna go do it because it's being so normalized by damn everybody. And they'll have to go on their own journey. When you realize that it was only robbing you of your discipline and ability to focus and your faith in yourself, all of which are, of course, essential for being any kind of fucking artist. We'll be here. We'll be here when you're done with your sordid tryst. Okay, you all need a wake up call every now and then. Just a little wake up call every now and then. Actually, I don't want to do stuff like that in this file. I'd rather do stuff like that and that kind of painty stuff. I'd rather do that in Photoshop. How's your experience with Leonardo so far? I like it. I like that it's simple. All right, folks, I'm going to get going. As much fun as I was having getting sucked in there, it's time to move on to the next thing on the to-do list. But we just started, says Kessa. Yeah, it's got to be a short one today. Does Leonardo have a free version? It has a trial, I'm pretty sure. It does, well, I'm sure it has a trial. I forget how long the trial was, though. I did it a while ago. It's in beta right now. I paid for the beta so I could keep it. I sometimes would like to post some sketches, but I don't feel ready. I'm so attached to my sketchbooks and everything. I think for a lot of people, if you want to be sharing, I think you should. It's not like you can't clean up your portfolio later when it's time to get more serious about trying to get a job or something like that. Now, for some people, posting online is going to produce more suffering than benefit, right? It's just going to make them insecure. It's going to change the practice too much. If that's the case, then I also think there's nothing wrong with just not sharing for a very long time. You could just do everything for yourself. But people want to share. You know, it's one of the main reasons people do art. They want other people to see it and to connect with it. So if you've got that wholesome motivation and posting online doesn't disturb your brain too much, I think it's a good idea. But for a lot of people, it's going to be hard to avoid the negative repercussions of posting online. But try to find a way. Try to find a way to make it work for you. Because, yeah, most people are not happy to just not have anybody see their work. That's not most people. And you don't need to wait forever. It's okay. You know, social media is a new thing. Everybody's still trying to figure it out. It's not the way things used to be. Give yourself a little grace to explore. Give yourself a little room to find your own way in the social media thing. Play around. And don't take it too seriously. Don't take it too seriously. It's trite and commonplace advice, but do your best to just be yourself on there. If you don't put on like an act or anything like that, then that makes it easier to inhabit the digital sort of social media space. You don't want to, for most artists, not for every kind of artist, but for the more sensitive, heartfelt type of artist, you don't want to accidentally create an audience that you don't want to accidentally create an audience that either actually or from your viewpoint thinks that you are someone you are not, or that just doesn't share your values, right? That does happen, actually. That is actually a very real threat. Lots of people, lots of artists, unfortunately, wind up having a lot of tension between them and their audience because they think that their audience expects a very particular thing from them or thinks that they're someone that they're not. You know, they posted one thing that they don't usually do, some fan art or something like that. That's the only thing that became successful. They rode that high for a few months, few years, you know, kept doing fan art. It's like, oh my God, this is the only thing people have ever connected with. They build a big audience on that, and then they forgot that they didn't do fan art often because they don't like it. They don't like doing it. You know, it's not actually their main interest in art. And then they think they have to keep delivering fan art. And maybe their audience does indeed expect them to keep delivering fan art. And then before you know it, you resent and hate your audience. And then because you can't actually resent and hate that many people, inevitably, you just come to resent and hate your art and your practice and yourself. So just avoid that as much as possible. You know, as much as possible, just share things that you really care about that align with you personally, with what you actually care about, what you actually want to do, so that if anything does pop off and get successful, it's authentic. It's something that's really you, so that if you do ride that success, you're in a better place to land somewhere healthy and safe, That's sort of the advice that I always give for most artists, because most artists are really just trying to do the art. Most artists aren't, out there blah, like me, sitting on camera for hours at a time. If you do that, then that gives you more tools to correct things. If you have it in you, I have a lot of time sitting here and stuff like that where, I just try to be, the crazy things that I believe and things like that. And what am I trying to say? I also have the opportunity to talk about it and who I am and why I do my art and what I believe and stuff like that. So that gives me more tools to be honest and straight up and not have my audience think I'm someone that I'm not, just have it so that I know my audience knows that I'm crazy. I'm a religious zealot. You do art for spiritual reasons. God lives in there. There's no free will. The world is an illusion. Vast emptiness. What matters in art is the experiential joy, moment-to-moment joy of doing it. Not the end results, not the clout, not the careers, not anything like that. And it's fine to go after those careers and all of that, but you got to be aligned. You got to do it right. Cursed Fetus says, buongiorno, ragazzo. How do you keep it that cool? Keep what that cool? I don't know. I don't know how I do it. It's effortless. Leah says, man, this was me. It's tough to get out of that mindset. Yeah, it's hard for the artists who find themselves there. It is very difficult. Feels very much freeing to be rid of the need to make art up to the standard of what you think people want. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you're always making it up. You're always assuming what people want to see from you and hear from you and things like that. It doesn't work. Just be yourself. Very cliche advice for a reason. It's one of the few things that really works if you can commit to it. He always has to defend his love for anime girls. Yeah. All right, everybody. I'm out. Thanks for the morning sketch session. Peace out. We'll see you all soon. Happy drawing today. Goodbye to Nika, Elijah Fredericks, Renyi, He.Design, Tet, Leah, Cursed Fetus, Kyokusei, Cody, Paladin, Eddie, Charlie, my dear Marziliano Sculpts, V. Binchis, Zanglo, Reynola Dominguez, Jerry Lacour Art, Kessa, and of course, End Soap. How could we forget End Soap? Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful day. May the leaf blowers be quiet and distant. Quiet and distant. Bye-bye.